April 18th, Decision Day, and why it's so important. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. All right, now in this video, I want to share with you the details of April 18th and why we're calling this Decision Day, based on some remarks out of the Treasury and what this means for fixed income beneficiaries, especially those people receiving benefits administered by the Social Security Administration. Let's get into it and talk about all the details, what April 18th means, and how it may impact your monthly benefits. However, really quickly before we do, thanks so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe right down below the video. It's totally free to do so, and I'm here for you right by your side each and every day, watching the latest details hitting the wire, doing the research and breaking it all down into these short videos so you can stay posted on what's actually going on and how it may impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and of course anything popping up right now you can possibly grab and or take advantage of. So again, I'm here for you every single day, no matter what. That's my promise to you and everybody here in the community, and as always, I'm sticking to it. All right, thanks again. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and let's get into it and talk about April 18th, what this day means, and those important remarks out of the Treasury. What did they say indicating April 18th? All right, what is April 18th? It is tax day. Is everybody excited? I don't think so. I'm just kidding. Okay, but seriously, it really is tax day. Now, generally, April 18th, generally tax day would be April 15th, but obviously the 15th is a weekend, so therefore it is not tax day. But therefore, it is April 18th, which is tax day. Now, why is this so important, and what are the remarks out of the Treasury, as well as how does this have any impact to Social Security, as well as what else is going on? Great questions. Let me clarify everything. So it was about 2 months or so ago, now give or take a little bit, I don't remember the exact date, but Janet Yellen was out about 2 months or so ago, and she indicated that the Treasury was taking extraordinary measures to make sure that the United States did not default, because we have this whole debt ceiling issue going on right here, right now. At the time, they indicated the Treasury had $358 billion in cash that they were sitting on to make sure that they could continue to pay all of the bills for the federal government. That was $358 billion. Well, she indicated that they had enough money out until about early June to keep the government funded to avoid a default. In that time frame that they were indicating, Congress would need to come together on a debt ceiling deal to make sure that they didn't default here in the United States, which, by the way, as of right now, no deal. They do not have anything on the table yet. Even though I've seen a few headlines coming out recently, they said that something is coming along the lines here. I don't really know about that, okay? Reason I haven't really talked about it in previous videos yet is because there's not a lot of great information out there yet. They're just indicating, oh, they're coming together on concessions. Are they really? Haven't really seen anything. So again, as I get more details on that, of course, I'll bring it to your attention. But here's why it comes down to April 18th, tax day. They clearly indicated it's all going to be based on how much tax revenues they have coming in on April 18th as a result of tax day. And that'll give them a better picture as far as how much money does the Treasury have to keep the government funded. So basically, let's just say this much. If they fall short on tax revenues coming in, as in they're paying out more, less people paying in, less money coming in to the Treasury, that early June timeframe may be condensed a little bit, as in brought closer to present time, or it may be pushed out if tax revenues come in higher than what they project. They don't really know yet, but we'll get that information here in a matter of just a couple days. We will have all that information here, and we will have an idea of how much money does the Treasuries have in their, in their accounts. How much longer can the federal government continue to withstand all of the interest payments, all of the debt payments, all of the things that they need to sustain here to make sure that we can avoid a default here in this country, while Congress continues to, well, do whatever Congress does. If you want to tell me what Congress does, please let me know, because it's anybody's guess at this point what Congress does these days, other than go back and forth at each other and, just constantly, insult each other, or basically say that the other side is wrong. So again, they both do it, right? They all do it. It's just kind of the same old Congress, the same old political, arguments and things like that. So that's just what they're dealing with. But anyway, that is what comes down to. And remember, the whole debt ceiling issue is an issue that needs to be addressed by Congress. Now remember, I don't know, maybe 3-4 months ago, something like that, I was out in a separate video talking about this idea that they've been floating for a long time now. In fact, they talked about this maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago now. They talked about this and they floated a few months ago as well, where they said maybe we'll print a $1 trillion coin, as in they'll go to the mint, right? And they'll say, hey, mint us up a $1 trillion platinum coin, and then we'll deposit it into the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve will print $1 trillion, and then boom, we're good to go, right? I don't know. Does that not seem like the most phony thing you've ever heard of? Yeah, because it is, right? Which is exactly why they've indicated they're not going to do this. They're not going to print not print, mint. They're not going to mint a $1 trillion platinum coin, but it is something they've talked about, and it is an idea that they've floated. Either way, they're not going to do it, according to what they're saying. But again, we've heard this before. They say one thing and then they do the opposite. So again, we won't really put it past them until we can clearly see they're not going to actually do it. But when it comes down to it, now you might be wondering, how does this impact my monthly benefit? Now, the whole debt ceiling issue is something we've been talking about for several months now. We've been hearing it in the headlines, and we've seen tons and tons of headlines. We've seen tons of people talking about this. We've seen it all over the place where they're suggesting in the event of a default or in the event of no deal on a debt ceiling, it's going to impact fixed income benefit checks. Well, maybe. It might slow down the distribution of checks. It will not stop payments. They have plenty of money. They're not going to stop sending out checks, okay? So I just want to reiterate that I'm not here to instill fear in anybody. I'm not here to scare anybody. I'm never here to do that. That's not my style. That's not what I want to do, okay? But what I do want to do is give you the information so we can all understand where we currently stand on this. But what they're suggesting is that in the event of a potential default or in the potential event of, Congress not coming together on a deal with the debt ceiling, it may slow down the distribution of those payments, as in a delay in receiving payments. How much of a delay? Good question. Apparently nobody knows, because I've dug deep on this. I have not been able to find any information that suggests it's going to be exactly a delay of X days or whatever it happens to be. I don't know. Can't find that information exactly. They just say a delay. Well, I want to know what's a delay. Is a delay like 3 hours? Is a delay 3 days? Is a delay 3 weeks? Don't know. A huge difference, right? A 3-hour delay is a huge difference from a 3-day or 3-week delay, right? I think we can all probably agree with that, and I think they probably recognize that as well. So anyway, I want to make this very clear. Please do not worry about this right now, okay? We're still a few weeks out, but let's just be real at the same time. We're getting kind of close, right? We're getting to be like, 6 weeks away? 5 weeks away, depending on how we look at the calendar and depending on when that actual date is in early June. Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, just indicated sometime in early June. Okay, well, what's early June? June 1st? June 9th? June 12th? What's early June? Again, we need to have some actual context in all of this, right? Anyway, this is what they're indicating. So we're like, let's just call it 6 weeks out from now or so, give or take a little bit, 6-7 weeks, something along these lines, right? So that's about where we're at right now. So I just want to say this much. Again, like I just said a minute ago, please don't worry about this. Please don't let it scare you or anything like this. After we get the final details as far as how much money the Treasury is going to bring in or how much they brought in as a result of tax revenues, it's going to be a ton of money, right? It's going to be billions upon billions of dollars. But remember, as of about 2 months ago or so, Janet Yellen indicated they were floating $358 billion in the Treasury. Okay, well, guess what? Over the last couple months here, they've been dwindling that down. So all this money coming into the Treasury is just basically going to be a refill into the Treasury based on what they've actually paid out here over the last couple months. They're going to refill that back up, and it's going to give us a better glimpse into how much more runway do they have on this thing, as in how much more time does Congress have to kick this thing down the road and to twiddle their thumbs and drag this out as much as they possibly can before we're actually looking at a real default and or debt ceiling issue here in the country. So that's what it comes down to. I'm interested to see on the 18th, or it's probably going to be realistically a day or two after that, until they reconcile everything to see how much money the Treasury will actually be bringing in. It's going to be a lot of money. I know that much. It'll be billions and billions, probably hundreds of billions of dollars. How much? We don't know that yet, but it'll be pretty interesting. And again, if it falls short, it may push that timeline closer from early June to, who knows, maybe late May. Not really sure, but again, we will get that information here in a matter of just days. So I hope this one kind of gives you a better perspective on what's going on. I haven't been talking about the debt ceiling a ton because it's still kind of up in the air right now. We don't really know a whole lot other than the fact that Congress continues to say that they're working on something, but until they have a deal or until they have something solid and actually substantial on the table to discuss, there's not really a whole lot going on, okay? So, of course, as I get more information, I will continue to bring it to your attention, but just want to give you this update. And again, it all comes down to April 18th, according to what they've indicated with those tax revenues coming in. So anyway, by the way, this is not tax advice, but something you may want to consider. If you are somebody that needs to file a tax return, you might want to get that done here as soon as possible. Just saying. Again, I'm not here to advise with tax information, anything like that. I'm just simply saying, if you need to file a tax return, you probably want to get that done as soon as possible because filing late is probably not going to be a good idea, okay? Just saying. It's coming here closely or very quickly here, so you might want to get that done. Anyway, hope this one helps you. Again, please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day, take care, have a good one, and catch you again later.